As night fell, the night market in the ancient capital came alive. Thousands of lanterns lit up the streets, red lanterns swayed in the wind, wine shop flags fluttered, passers-by bustled about, and vendors shouted loudly. This was the bustling scene the early phrase lights and wine, bustle, and revelry depicted. Street-side taverns glowed brightly with candlelight. Drinkers sat around tables toasting heartily, red wine glinting in their cups. Waiters weaved through the crowd with wine pots, their calls mixing with laughter, filling the air with a lively, down-to-earth atmosphere. Children held their mothers' hands, chasing red lanterns along the street, the red glow lighting up their innocent faces. The tavern lights and the hue of the wine blended, dyeing the whole street a warm red. Upscale restaurants on street corners blazed with lights. Wealthy young men gathered for feasts, red wine swirling in their goblets, while songstresses sang and danced between tables. They raised cups in pursuit of pleasure, indulging in revelry with lazy, dissolute looks. A wealthy drunkard slumped in his chair, thoroughly intoxicated, yet maids kept refilling his cup. The table was a mess of cups and plates. The lights outside streamed in, casting a glow on his flushed face, a picture of utter debauchery. A white-haired elder passed by leaning on a cane, shook his head and sighed at the revelry inside. In the alley corner, a beggar huddled shivering with cold, a stark contrast to the glitz within the restaurant. The elder stopped a passing child, pointed at the restaurant and warned solemnly, "This kind of luxurious, pleasure-seeking life seems glamorous on the surface, yet it easily makes people lose their true selves and forget the value of hard work." The child nodded, half understanding. Deep into the night, the feast ended and the lights dimmed. The wealthy young men lay sprawled. Drunk servants struggled to help them leave, leaving only messy cups and plates behind emptiness after fleeting prosperity. At dawn, vendors were already setting up stalls, and pedestrians hurried along. Gone was the night's glitz, replaced by a quiet, down-to-earth charm, the true daily life of ordinary people. In the schoolroom, the teacher pointed to the four characters lights and wine, bustle, and revelry on the blackboard and explained, "It has two meanings. It can describe a vibrant city night scene neutral, or metaphor a life of luxury and indulgence derogatory. We must tell the contexts apart and resist the temptation of indulgence." In the evening, neon lights flickered on in the modern city's business district. Car lights, street lamps, and shop lights intertwined. Citizens wandered leisurely shopping, a bustling scene. This is the neutral use of lights and wine, bustle, and revelry to describe prosperity. At night, upscale clubs blazed with lights, luxury cars parked in rows at the entrance, and elegantly dressed people came and went. Passers-by cast wary glances as they hurried past. Here, lights and wine, bustle, and revelry carries a derogatory sense of extravagance and dissipation. Parents flipped through idiom books, giving examples to their children. The festival pedestrian street, with its bright lights and lively atmosphere, is described as lights and wine, bustle, and revelry in a neutral sense, but indulging in endless dinners and parties is a derogatory use of the phrase. The children nodded earnestly. Key takeaway. Lights and wine, bustle, and revelry describes both the vibrant, bustling night scene of a city neutral and a life of luxury, indulgence, and pleasure-seeking derogatory. It reminds us to distinguish the context clearly, uphold our original aspirations, and resist the temptation of indulgence.